Good afternoon. This is Hiju Park from Key Compounding Pharmacy, and we have Dr. Nina Walsh again here uh, uh, to go over our holistic skincare. Today we have a very exciting session to go over utilizing actual food that you can eat and applying it and then transforming them into for your skincare.
Right, something that you probably have at home already.
Yes, how nice. It's very exciting to actually smell all this and see all this and see how we can utilize this.
Possibly taste even, yes.
Yes. So I you just taught me that you have a kind of steps of how to take care of your skin. And so maybe we can go over that briefly and then get into the ingredients.
Yeah. So we have a daily routine typically, right, that we use for taking care of our skin. And usually it always involves cleansing.
Yes.
And there's different ways of doing that, deeper and milder, more kind of harsh possibly, or gentler. And so on a daily basis, of course, we want to do something fairly mild, but sometimes once a week or every couple of weeks, we can do something a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger, to help kind of reveal that deeper new layer of skin. The next step would be, since we open the skin and we, remove the dead superficial layer, we can now put something on the skin that the skin will absorb. Yeah, so we can actually feed it now, right?
Yes.
And so there are different things that we can utilize. So
and then after that, you want to balance.
Well, then you actually want to stimulate. And so
Yes.
these two steps are interchangeable, because you want to stimulate metabolism in the skin, just like you want strong metabolism in all organs, because every organ renews itself all the time. It cleanses itself, it regenerates itself. So similarly for the skin, especially since skin is such a rapidly renewing organ. So we want to support that metabolism, and that is a very kind of anti-aging strategy to help skin renew itself. And then we want to restore the pH, because we have kind of interfered with the natural pH of skin. We removed some of the layers, and so now we want to return that. And we also want to introduce something that is soothing, antimicrobial, healing, sort of quieting the process. And then lastly, we can balance the oils.
Okay, so if I summarize it quickly, it sounds like you start with the cleansing, and then you want to stimulate the skin, and then you want to retonify, re-pH, nourish
Also,
and then you want to be balancing the skin back by applying really something to perhaps like oils to protect the skin. Okay, so with that in mind, then let's go over what you have and as a natural ingredients.
Right. So since we're doing it at home and we want to make it as simple as possible, as convenient as possible, so that we can do it on a daily basis and it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg, and also kind of getting used to the idea that skin is also eating.
Yes.
Like we're eating, we're feeding ourselves, and we can feed our skin. So these should be completely edible ingredients.
Okay.
Not toxic, not chemical, not harsh, but just natural food.
Yeah, I love this. This is
That's
great.
the idea.
Yes.
And so the first step, the cleansing, we can start with the oil, just simple oil. And oil actually is a gentle way to dissolve the impurities on top of the skin, the sort of the layer of dirt which we accumulate, just being exposed to the environment and environmental elements. So that would be the first one. And so it kind of loosens that top epithelial layer. And then to do a deeper cleansing, we can use something to exfoliate that, the layer that we have already softened. Right, and for that,
Yes, what kind of oil would you use to cleanse?
Well, it's very simple oils. It's even things like olive
oil?
right? And in this case, jojoba oil, which is also nourishing. You know, you can use it as a nourishing step later. And I like pure jojoba, and of course, preferably organic, which is ideal. But almond oil would work as well, and rosehip oil, and so on. So, and as I said, we can also use it later on in the process. So that's the initial step. And then to exfoliate a little deeper, we could use something granular. And the very simple thing would be just basic sugar. And this is, well, we can use brown turbinado sugar or just basic sugar. And this is the only time where I would use white sugar. Otherwise, I don't have a place for it in my diet or in my life, basically. But just this, and so we moisten it with a little bit of water, so it becomes like a little paste, and gently scrub away that top layer of epidermis, the uppermost layer of the skin that we have already softened a little bit, right? So. And so then we expose the fresh, clean skin underneath. And so it is ready to receive at this point. And so the next step would be, and these are also somewhat interchangeable. So here I have seaweed.
Oh, yes.
And seaweed is a wonderful food. It is the most mineral-rich food on the planet, plant food on the planet. So it's the richest in pretty much all minerals. So, and it's wonderful for many organs. It's restorative for the skin from the inside if we consume it, you know, as food in form of soups or salads and so on. But we can also use it topically directly on the skin. And the way to do that would be to infuse it, to make tea basically with a little bit of water. Again, we can use hot water, just pour it over the seaweed, or even cold. And then the cold infusion would take a little longer. But either way, we will end up with a substance that has a lot of mucilaginous properties, you know, kind of gooey, thick, clear substance. And that is those beautiful alginates, those ingredients in the seaweed that help restore hyaluronic acid content in the skin. And that's what makes our skin more supple and more toned, basically. So, and that restores healthy skin, prevents wrinkle formation, and helps.
These are also typically, you can call it like alkaline food.
That's right. Alkaline, yes. Yeah, from the inside, exactly. With the idea that acidic foods are aging foods, and alkaline, health-promoting food, restorative, anti-cancer, undoing oxidative damage. And so the same thing will be happening on the outside of the skin, externally.
Yes, so I think that's why it's amazing with the lemon, especially, right? Even though it's acidic, we feel it's the acidic taste, but then it is alkaline food when it gets into your body.
Lemon is alkalizing, yes. As well. It's
so that's one of the things a lot of us get confused. It's acidic, so that we feel like our body is going to get acidified, but actually it's the opposite.
Yes, but it promotes alkaline environment, healthy environment internally. And so that's a very simple mask, but it's very effective actually. And so you can buy products commercially that contain seaweed components, so a little bit of seaweed, or you can just do it directly. It's really wonderfully effective.
So I know today we have a limited time you can show us, but I really hope the next time you can actually show us.
We can actually do the seaweed
how we can actually do the mask.
It's very simple, but we'll do that infusion. And so that stimulates that production of collagen. It provides ingredients for collagen production and all those minerals that seaweed is so rich in. The next step that we can do after we have removed the seaweed mask we can now nourish the skin in a very simple way, and that's also very similar to what Cleopatra was doing, right?
Yes.
Centuries and
Milk.
centuries ago.
Yes.
Exactly. So we can
Honey.
take, we can take food that contains healthy fats, like coconut cream or coconut milk, and goat milk in this case, which is another wonderful product. Mix these together, for instance. And coconut cream is already of this wonderful consistency, so
Yes.
it can be very easily applied to the skin, and then we can pour a little bit of
Goat milk. And it is the coconut milk also has the a short chain fatty acid, which is our endocellular cells in our gut really loves short chain fatty acid.
yes, and
for
that's
their
what provides
nutrients.
energy exactly. So, and then we can put a little bit of honey in with this, and what honey does is soften the skin. It is also wonderfully antimicrobial, and you can use pretty much equal proportions of these ingredients. And then just mix it well together. And you can make it a little bit thicker if you want. And so it's yummy, you know, it's something
Yes.
that is very good for you,
Yes.
right? And so it's good for your skin. So one of my friends who created a holistic beauty company and has a wonderful line of organic beauty products, she says, if it's not good enough to eat, it's not good enough to put on your skin.
Okay.
So
that's the rule of thumb.
pretty much,
Right.
because this is your body, and you
Right.
are intaking
Right.
substances through your skin into your body. And so now we can put a little bit of lemon juice. And so lemon juice is brightening. It is also antimicrobial. It contains vitamin C that is also necessary for collagen production, which is that strong structural ingredient in the skin. And you don't want too much, you know, just a little bit is enough. Maybe half of the quantity of the other ingredients. Like if you have a teaspoon of each, then you would have a half a teaspoon.
Okay.
And so that is a beautiful, nourishing, purifying, brightening, antioxidant, protective, antimicrobial, softening mask. And so
Right.
you apply it to a clean and energized skin for about 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
And so the whole routine will take you maybe, like 30 minutes. Like, yes. And so I wouldn't do every mask, each one of these masks daily, but if you're doing a more substantial routine once a week, then it is perfectly doable and it's appropriate. And that's a good span of time so that your skin is always supported and nourished and energized.
It'll be probably the best time to do it is also in the summertime when you expose your skin to the sun.
That's right. Speaking of which, our next step is preparing a toner.
What is
And
that?
so well, you can see, you know, those pretty buds, they maintain their beautiful, vibrant color even when they're dried, and these are rose buds. So
it's purple. Purple is my favorite color.
yes,
I'm
those
very
so yeah.
attracted right away.
I know, bright, and that means
Yes.
that they contain a high amount of antioxidants. Again, substances that can undo that oxidative damage, undo the aging, which is happening in our skin, whether we want it or not. But we can slow it down, or we can speed it up.
Right.
So
Yes.
it's our choice.
It's our choice. That's right.
And so
And that is
we add the next ingredient to the rose buds, and that is green tea. So green tea has been used throughout centuries for beauty purposes, not only for general health purposes and benefits for the brain, for the immune system. It's also anti-cancer, but it is a great medicine to undo sun damage. So drinking it internally, it actually helps our skin withstand the detrimental effect of too much exposure to the sun rays or any other radiation. And externally, it also helps soothe the skin and heal that damage as well. So it's a great antioxidant. Both of these are also aromatic.
Yes.
And aromatic substances have a wonderful effect on the nervous system. Actually, in Chinese medicine, we use aromatic substances to distress, to help deal with stress better. And so as we have this skin on our face, we can also sip on the tea. We can just steep that tea and strain it and use it to drink. But the remainder of it, that liquid, that tea, actually will be the toner. The next step in our beauty regimen, when we remove the mask, the nourishing mask, just with warm water and maybe a little bit of cotton, we apply now the rose and green tea toner to the skin, and that is healing, and that is kind of creates this protective layer. It is antimicrobial because the skin is now more open, so it helps close it and also prevent any sort of irritation from happening, or soothe the irritation, possibly any redness and so on. And it helps restore the pH of skin. So, and I think this is just beautiful.
Yes.
And it's so enjoyable, when you know that you're doing this really wonderful, nourishing ritual. It is good for your soul. It is good for your skin. It is good for your entire body.
Yes. So after you're making the tea, you drink the tea, but whatever is left over there, that actual piece of green tea leaves, and then the rosebud, you will apply to your skin as a pack and leave it there for a few minutes.
Strain it. It is the tea, actually, but you can do that as well. So as a toner, you can just do the liquid. You can simply you can put it in a little spray container, spray bottle, and just spritz it. Spritz it, like over your face and décolletage, which of course is a good idea to include because it's the face and the neck that show the effects of aging, mostly, as well as the skin of the hands. And visually, actually, it is, we perceive the neck as the greater amount, as the greater percentage of our overall image. And so it's important to take care of the skin of the neck as well in the same way.
Spray. Okay, yes.
And so the final step would be to do replenishing and protective layer using the oils again. And so we used to think that if a skin tends to produce too much oil, we need to astringent. We need to, strip it, and so that we remove the excess oils. And it actually worked the opposite way, because it stimulated the skin to produce and overproduce the oils. So now what we do is we cleanse it gently and we nourish it, and then we actually apply the oils, which then help the skin balance oil production. That can actually tame it a little bit if it's excessive, and supply the oils if the skin needs more. And again, jojoba oil is a beautiful medicinal oil. It's wonderful for the skin. You can notice it even after the first application, just how much more supple and silky it is, especially after we've done this, beautiful
I can feel that right away.
Thank you.
Now.
Thank you. And we can use different oils for this. And
like you mentioned almond oil. Or
almond
olive
oil is fine. Really high quality olive oil is wonderful as well. There are studies that show that it actually reverses also sun damage, and it's cancer preventative as well. Now, another beautiful oil, argan oil, is a product that entered the market now a few years ago. It became very popular right away. It is produced from the kernels of argan tree, and it has healing, therapeutic properties for the skin as well as oil balancing. So all of these are rich in natural antioxidants and polyphenols. And here we have a combination oil. Argan oil is the base, but then there are multiple other beautiful therapeutic oils such as pomegranate oil, such as geranium oil, bergamot, citrus, and so on. And so this is a wonderful blend that is also fragrant, that is soothing for the nervous system. So, and just a little, literally like just a drop of that. And yeah, you don't need to apply any more than this. And you just, take it with the tip of your fingers and dab it lightly all over the skin.
It doesn't need very much.
No, and so you can do it daily. So that you can do it very simple routine, and all of it is just pure goodness. It is purely nourishing and restorative and energizing, and it's helping the skin come alive, with its own natural mechanisms. So, and not to forget that we still, we want to supply good, healthy nutrients from within. I wanted to mention that here's the, that's actually an adaptation of traditional Chinese tea for beauty and youthfulness, right? So, and we have several ingredients. So it's kind of a fruit drink, like almost like a dessert. And so we combine lotus seeds.
Yes.
And those are very rich in nutrients, nourishing ingredients that provide energy building blocks and tonifying. And rose hips. So that is the outer low skin of the fruit of the rose plant, seeded. So the seeds are removed. So it's perfectly edible. It's very rich in antioxidants as well, including vitamin C and vitamin A and some vitamin E. Absolutely. And then lastly, we can add goji berries. Goji berries is another wonderful berry that is very nourishing for the blood, because blood is what supplies all the nutrients from within. And so in Chinese medicine, they say that skin is the surplus of blood. And so if we have abundant blood that is rich in all these beautiful nutrients, there will be enough to nourish beautiful skin.
Okay, so how would you will eat this as a snack as it is?
So actually we make sort of a drink, like a compote, and we take equal quantities of each of those. I would take a tablespoon of each, and I would boil it in a cup of water, just simmer for about 10-15 minutes, and it becomes really yummy. So you can have it as dessert, or just even by itself, just as medicine.
Could you make it in a large quantity? Can you drink that throughout the day as your replacement?
But it's actually quite rich. You don't even need a lot. Like 1 cup per day of this drink, of this formula is perfectly enough.
Great. I'm going to try that.
Yes, I hope
motivated.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right. So we had a wonderful session today, going over all this natural, the food item that we can use to nourish our skin from outside and from also inside.
Yes, and I hope that some of these things, the new things, would be, just interesting for our listeners to explore and to taste. And I hope that they will become part of their daily life as well. Yes. Because there's so many benefits that we derive from it.
Right, great. Thank you so much again, Dr. Nina Walsh. She practices in Bellevue and Federal Way area. Her practice name is Flow Natural Medicine and Acupuncture. So please check her out. Her links will be in our website. And then begin your journey. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.